In the earlier episodes of our American version of Snow White, Willa has escaped her murderous stepmother and ended up with a traveling medicine show. The medicine showmen decide to use the Snow White story to sell Chief Tonka's elixir of life. Meanwhile, Regina realizes that Otto has been lying to her.
You didn't kill her. Where is she?
At this time in American history, movies were beginning to replace medicine shows as popular entertainment.
Moving pictures. Can you believe that people actually pay to sit in the dark and watch those contorting shadows? No audience. No show.
On the road, they meet Toby, the young motion picture man. Toby and Willa have eyes only for each other. Meanwhile, Regina intercepts a letter Willa has written to Otto. That night, Toby walks into the campground as she is rehearsing the balcony scene from Romeo and Juliet.
I would not for the world they saw thee here. If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Well, well, it's the moving picture man. It seems to me you were on your way to California, fame and fortune.
He was helping me with my lines.
Yes, my dear, I know. And now the hour is late, and you should be in your truckle bed.
I did not appreciate what you and your friends did to my car. Are you her father?
Let's just say I'm a guardian. And you, sir, are trespassing. You're not wanted here, young man. First you take our business, and now you have the unmitigated gall to come a-courting. Hie thee hence, young Romeo. Go off to your California, young man. Let us not see you again.
Come on, honey. Look, I'll bet by the time we finish the show, he'll be standing backstage with that silly grin on his face.
What's the holdup?
Coming, boss. Showtime.
It was the middle of winter, and the snowflakes were falling like feathers from the sky. And a queen sat by her window working, and her embroidery frame was ebony. And as she worked, gazing at times out at the snow, she pricked her finger. Ooh! And there fell from it 3 drops of blood on the snow. And when the queen saw how bright and red they were, she said to herself,
Oh, that I had a daughter whose skin was white as snow, whose lips were red as blood, and whose hair was black as ebony.
And not very long after, she had a daughter. But when she was born, the queen died. After a year, the king took another wife, a beautiful woman, but proud and overbearing. She could not bear to be surpassed in beauty by anyone. She had a magic looking glass, and she would stand before it and look into it and say,
looking glass in my hand. Who's the fairest in all the land?
And the looking glass would answer,
you are the fairest in the land.
And she was content, because she knew the looking glass spoke the truth. But Snow White was growing up, and she grew more and more beautiful each day. Even more beautiful than the queen herself. And when she once looked into the glass and asked,
looking glass in my hand, who's the fairest in all the land?
The looking-glass answered.
Snow White!
Envy and pride grew in her heart like a weed, so that she had no peace day or night. She called a huntsman to her chamber and said,
Huntsman,
Take the child into the woods and kill her.
Since Snow White was so beautiful, the huntsman took pity on her and told her to run away. It was as if a stone had been rolled from his heart, since it was no longer needful for him to kill her. She ran as long as her feet would go, until it was almost evening. Then she saw a little cottage and went into it to rest. Everything inside the cottage was small, but neater and cleaner than can be told. Since Snow White would be alone all day, the good dwarf warned her and said,
Beware of your stepmother. She will soon know you were here. Let no one into the house.
I dare not take one.
lady, don't take that apple.
She's not breathing. Is there a doctor in the house? She has no pulse. She's still not breathing.
Boss, look at this.
Oh, Billy, get out there. Give them a quick song and dance. Tell them the show is over.
Because he hit me with something. We gotta get the law after that witch.
The law. You know better than that, Chief. We've got to get out of town. We'll leave as soon as that crowd goes.
has she been like this?
It happened the day after you left.
She's still alive. She's not dead.
What?
She's not dead. Get the doctor. You have to do something. Aren't you a doctor? You can't just sit there. Help me.
It doesn't work.
Hey, you guys, look! Oh!
That stuff tastes really awful.
Thank you, Billy. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the moving pictures. Yes, my friends, in a few moments this blank surface will become magically alive. How is this possible, you may ask? Through the wonder of technology, my friends. A machine that captures images and makes them move. Are you ready, Toby?
Just a few more minutes, it seems.
Well, in the meantime, let me amuse you with another modest talent. On some occasions I have discovered I can foresee the future. It's not an exact science, but by merely holding a silver coin in one hand and a piece of paper in the other on which you have written a question, I suddenly see, as through a glass darkly, the future of the person who has given me that coin. How is this possible? Friends, I know not. Perhaps it was the holy man that I met in India many years ago. I was on the streets of Calcutta at the time.
Let's get out to tell us our future. Chief.
Thank you, Chief. The inquiry about the house. Sir. I see a white house with columns. I see children and grandchildren. The sharp pain in your chest you inquired about. Rheumatism, apparently. Nothing more. Yes, young lady. I'll tell you what I see. I see sunshine, an ocean, and I see happiness.
Who's the fairest in the land?
I beg your pardon? Madam, if I remember correctly, the answer is Snow White. Let's roll, Toby Blythe Worcester. Ladies and gentlemen, the magic of moving pictures.
to show you something better than that. But you must all be quiet. Shh.
That's Regina.
Juliet is here. But my poor Romeo is dead. What's this? A cup closed in my true love's hand. Poison as he hath been his timeless end. Oh, child, drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after. I'll kiss thy lips. Haply some poison doth hang on them to make me die with a restorative.
Come on, lady, get out of the way.
Gina.
Otto?
Come off the stage. Give me your hand.
You're the quack that makes this stuff. It doesn't work.
Oh, come on, lady. We want to see the girl.
She's nothing! Am I young yet?
She could bring an audience to its feet. Lady Macbeth, Salome, Medea. The tragic queen, she was called. But we know all about the fickleness of fame and fortune, don't we, boys?
You fellows are more than welcome to come along with us to California.
Thank you, kind sir. But no. That may well be the future Toby Blythe Worcester. But there's still a bit of time left for the likes of us.
Yes, sir. I'm sure that's so.
If you ever need a testimonial for Chief Tonka's elixir of life, I'll be glad to give you one.
Now, if I can just remember what I put in it.
Hey, kid. We were pretty good, huh?
I'll never forget you, Billy Bug.
You've gladdened our hearts, Willa. And we're the better for it. Yes, I know. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Shakespeare. Go on.
Goodbye. I love you all.
Don't forget your fortune.
Either we'll get another wagon, not 5 miles from here.
We lost a lot of costumes, boss. I'm gonna miss that Juliet dress.
Noble savage, I have faith in you.
Well, let's get started.
Our revels now are ended. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep.
I sometimes tell people that folktales are like the DNA of the human spirit. I mean, if you took them all away and burned them, I think they just come back because they seem just appropriate to people. They're ancient, ancient stories. So when you're working with these plots, you've got something that's very, very solid. I think that it's daunting sometimes for people who want to come up with stories or ideas. They might have, they think that they have to their ideas have to come out of the blue, just totally out of original idea. But actually, everybody borrows from everybody in a creative process. And I happen to use folktales, but I'm not really alone. I mean, Shakespeare, who figures a lot in this story, the Romeo and Juliet story, borrows from folktales all the time. Romeo and Juliet is a folktale that he adapted and in his style and language, and created these characters, special characters, and gave them special life and so forth. But the general story is a folktale. So when we generally work on a film, we come up with a folktale, and then we also start looking around for other treatments, other versions of the folktale. A folktale that might have been, we found Snow White story from the American Indians, we found an Appalachian version of the Snow White story, we found a Near Eastern version of the Snow White story, we even found a Chinese version of the Snow White story. So they were around in different cultures. And then we also started looking at movies like Rebecca and Sunset Boulevard. These are films that are related to the Snow White story for ideas. And you can see, if you look at those movies, some of the influences of in our version of Snow White. And of course we looked at the Disney version of Snow White, which is the one that sets everybody's ideas about what Snow White should do. But making a film is interesting because the film begins to have its own life. And what happens is that you, as the director, become the handmaiden of this project. It's not like you're making it or forcing it into its shape. It's more like you are doing what the film wants you to do. It's a feeling like the film is directing itself, the film is telling you. It sounds kind of mystical in a way, but I think that's what happens. If the film has a connection to anything that is connecting to people in a general way, you're naturally going to shape it because you are an individual. But you also have to be very, very open to the universal elements of the film. The film is a story, and a story that's going to be appealing to the general DNA in human beings is something that you have to honor, and that's why you become the handmaiden of this. I mean, it'll have your own individual stamp, the stamp of your time and your culture and your sex and your experiences, and so that's a natural thing. But if it's only speaking to your individuality, your particular quirks as an individual, which no one else shares, the film will be of no interest to anyone else. Why is jealousy interesting to people? Why is this folktale interesting to people? And I was thinking about that. I guess we all have that emotion. Everybody's jealous. Everybody's envious. And by showing these emotions or dealing with them in these fantastic stories, these folk tales, these fairy tales, you bring this emotion out into the light of consciousness. And by doing that, in a way, you can be amused by it, laugh at it, or anyway, it's not something that you're trying to repress and say, I never feel jealous. Other people might, but I don't. Because once you start doing that, you aren't really being honest with yourself. And you can't really, then the emotion becomes diabolical and takes over your personality. But if you can distance yourself by story, by laughter, by acceptance, it's much easier to deal with these very powerful, dark emotions.